Hello there everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be talking about exfoliation and exfoliators, manual versus chemical, which one is better. So if you're interested, then please keep watching. So if you don't already know, I am a licensed esthetician and facialist, so all of the information that I'm going to be discussing in this video is going to be solely based on things that I've learned as an esthetician and facialist. I am not, however, a licensed dermatologist, and I don't claim to know more than a licensed dermatologist. This information is just purely based on my experience and things that I've learned in the aesthetics world. I also think that if you do have any serious skincare concerns, you should definitely see a dermatologist. There are moments when you should speak to an esthetician and moments when you should speak to a dermatologist. And if you have any serious skincare concerns, I would usually recommend going to a dermatologist first, just because it's a medical professional. You can still learn a lot of things from an esthetician and get a lot of skincare benefits from an esthetician. That's why, I'm in the industry that I am, because you can really help out a lot of people in a different way. Let's get into talking about the topic of this, which is exfoliation and exfoliators and which one is better, chemical or manual exfoliation, which one is better. Talk about first what exfoliation is. So exfoliating is basically removing any dead skin that you may have residing on the skin, whether that be with a chemical or manual exfoliator. It's basically just removing any dead skin cells that can rest on the top layer of your skin. Now, as far as how often you should exfoliate, I usually recommend, if you're going to chemically exfoliate, then I'd recommend around 2 or 3 times at most a week. It's definitely not something that you should do every single day, and I will get into that later as to why you shouldn't do that every single day. But you can do it 2 or 3 times a week, and I usually recommend around the same. Probably maybe you can get away with a little bit more with a manual exfoliator, but you try not to do a lot so often. I know a lot of people out there are crazy exfoliators and they do exfoliation every single day, and it's just like, stop. You're causing more harm than good if you exfoliate every single day. Now, which one do I think is better, manual or chemical? And there's really not a concrete answer. They both have their benefits. They both have they're good and they're bad. Chemical exfoliators, I think, are more idiot-proof, if I can say that. I'm not saying that anyone out there is an idiot, but it's more of an easier way of not messing up your skin. The thing is that manual exfoliators, if you're not someone who's trained or someone who knows what ingredients to look for in a manual exfoliator, you could cause more harm than good. For example, a lot of manual exfoliators have these sort of beads in them and things like that, that when you put them on your face, you're like, wow, this has like all these little particles in it that I feel it's probably doing a lot of good. And that's not always the case. So with manual exfoliators, I try to go for something that is a little bit more gentle on the skin. Don't like to use things that have natural exfoliators. I know that sounds bad, but I know a lot of people are like heavy into the DIY scrubs and that DIY sugar masks and sugar scrubs and walnut masks and walnut scrubs, and I'm not here for it, and I'll explain to you why. Even though sugar scrubs themselves are not as bad as, let's say, a walnut scrub, if you're gonna do any DIY and do a sugar scrub, I guess, if you can't stay away from both. The reason why I particularly don't like walnut scrubs, and that's an issue that a lot of skincare professionals have had with the whole Kylie Skin exfoliator, is because it's a walnut scrub, and what happens is that walnut scrubs, or walnuts in particular, that are cut up into that scrub and used as that sort of manual exfoliation type of thing, they're not cut, they're not synthetic, so they're not made in a factory to be particularly cut or particularly made in a way that's safe for your skin. So it can have all these harsh edges, jagged edges, and when you put that onto your face, you're putting this random cut nut on your face, and it can cause micro tears in your skin because it's so natural. It's not synthetically made or particularly made in a way that won't micro tear your skin, and that can lead to hyperpigmentation, acne, scarring, a lot of more harm than good. With that said, I do know of several manual exfoliators that I use that I like. Obviously, I have a trained eye, so I can, tell you which ones are good. Go for things that say peeling. Peeling is another term that we use in the aesthetics world for an exfoliator. So this one is from Post-Quam Professional's Essential Care Peeling Scrub. And so if you open it, you can probably feel that it has these little micro beads in it as well, but it's actually not a lot of beads in there. It's actually pretty small and very gentle is what you can say. I think that this one is a really good one if you're into more manual scrubs. I do use this on all my customers, haven't had an issue with it. I think it's a really good one, and I can use this around 2 or 3 times a week as well. So as far as chemical exfoliators, I do like them a lot. I think that exfoliating is something very essential in your skincare routine because you need to remove the dead layer of skin. If you don't, you can have dry, dull skin that just doesn't glow from within. It can cause breakouts, skincare concerns, and hyperpigmentation if you don't treat it well. So I think that exfoliating is definitely something that you need to do every couple of times a week in your skincare journey, just to make sure that you're getting the benefit of everything. So if you're new to the exfoliating game, I would recommend this one. This is a chemical exfoliator. I do tend to use more chemical exfoliators on myself just because I can be a little bit more sensitive and I am acne prone. So I tend to use more chemical exfoliators on myself than a manual one, just because it's a little bit more gentle. But I love this one from The Ordinary. This is a lactic acid 5% plus hyaluronic acid. And I like lactic acid because it is the most gentle of chemical exfoliators that you can get. And I can use this around 2 or 3 times a week. This is why I really like this, because I wake up in the morning and it's super glowing and all the dullness is gone, the dead skin cells are gone, and you look brand new and fresh. And then I also sometimes I use this when I really need something a little bit more concentrated. I will use the glycolic acid 7% toning solution from The Ordinary. I would only really use that if it's absolutely necessary. If I feel like I need something a little bit stronger, I'll use that. If you exfoliate too much, like I said, you can cause micro tears in your skin, or you can make your skin overly sensitive to the sun. And what happens is when you're overly sensitive to the sun and you don't use an SPF, I'm talking to you don't use an SPF, you're gonna get super sensitive to the sun. And then what's gonna happen is you are going to get melasma, you are going to get hyperpigmentation, okay? And then that is way more difficult to get rid of than a simple pimple. So just, if you're going to use an exfoliator, use an SPF every single day, you guys. I know right now we're in quarantine, but you still need SPF, because guess what? The sun's rays still go through our windows, go through our car windows, go through our house windows. Our computers and cell phones have blue light, which also causes aging in the skin. So you need, can I say it enough? You need an SPF. So if you're gonna use an exfoliator, please be safe with it. Do your research, see which one you like. These are definitely ones that I enjoy. And if you're looking for a mask that exfoliates a little bit, I also like this one from Post-Quam Professionals, which is the Oxygenant Peeling Mask. And it is a mask and it has enzymes in it. So enzymes are another form of exfoliating other than you know, acids and manual exfoliators. You can also get an enzyme, which is just sort of an active ingredient that releases the bonds of the dead skin from the good skin. So that's definitely a good option as well. If you're looking for an exfoliator, you can also go for an enzyme peel, and that is definitely more gentle than, I would say, a manual scrub. Dead skin on your face, it does prevent your other products from penetrating deeper layers into your skin. So you're essentially wasting money and product, because instead of those ingredients like moisturizer or your hyaluronic acid penetrating into the deeper layers of your skin, it's just sitting on the surface. And then when you wash your face, it's gone. And if you over exfoliate your acne, you could cause more acne to come out because you're spreading the bacteria of that acne. So I'd recommend doing more of a chemical exfoliator and then just patting it onto your skin like this. Just pat it, just pat it. I know that a lot of people say that patting products into your skin doesn't seem as effective as wiping it, but it really is, because even though you're patting in certain areas, all of those active ingredients are going to spread out everywhere. They're not just gonna sit there where you placed it, they're gonna spread. So if you do this patting motion, it just ensures that you are gentle and you don't cause things like wrinkles or more hyperpigmentation or inflammation in the skin. So be gentle. Use a chemical exfoliator if you have acne. If you have more normal to dry skin, use a manual exfoliator. I don't see any issue with that, and I use manual exfoliators all the time. I don't think that they're terrible. I know a lot of people say that they are, but I really don't think they're terrible. Good thing to look into is AHAs and BHAs. Those are just different types of exfoliators that are on the market, and they can be possibly beneficial as well. But obviously all the information that I have is just based on my experience with these products and with manual and chemical exfoliators. Skincare is very personal, so definitely don't take what I say as, you know, 100% your case, because everyone is different in how they react. I've learned that to be so true. What works for me might not work for you. What works for your neighbor might not work for you. Skincare is just so personal. If something works for you, then by all means do it. But definitely it's more of a trial and error situation and doing the most research that you can. So I would definitely recommend, before you purchase any exfoliators, do your research. Wear some SPF. Don't use fragrance. I feel like my channel should just be described as use SPF, not fragrance. Okay, you guys, so that's all I have to say for today. This is a little quicker of a video, but I just wanted to throw it out there to give you more information. Obviously, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them in the comment section. You can also DM me or comment to me on Instagram. I'm always on there, and I'm always open to answer any questions that you guys may have. So I'll leave my Instagram handle down below as well, and any products mentioned, I will leave them there as well. Some links might be affiliate, so just keep in mind that if you do choose to use the small commission from your purchase, you don't have to use those links if you don't want to, but if you do, it does help me and my small channel, so it's there in case you want it. With that, we are done for today. I hope you guys have a great day wherever in the world you are, and see you in my next one. Bye!